Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Read. The question for this one is, what is their motive? So whoever you're thinking of and you're not really sure where you stand with them or what they're doing or why, that's what this is about. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name on there. The actual tarot cards I'm going to be using is this deck, Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. That way, if you want to find anything by those artists, there's that information. All right, let's see if I can get this together here. I'm going to try to just put it right along the bottom, see if I can get away with it. I don't know if that's going to be in. Just trying to make sure they're all in frame at the very least. Okay, and we're going to match one you here, I think. And that one. So this goes with this, this goes with this, this goes with this, this goes with this, and this goes with this. Okay, so hopefully they're all in frame. I'm assuming they are. First pile is going to be the Selenite. Second pile is going to be the green Calcite. Third pile is going to be the Hematite. Fourth pile is going to be the Amethyst. And the fifth pile is going to be the Lapis Lazuli. I'm going to shuffle the decks, full decks for each one, and we'll see where that goes. I should pull this down. I just want to make sure I keep the messages that go with them with them. Okay. Let's just put that. Okay. So the first one, Selenite. I'm going to flip this actually last, I think. So, what is their motive? What is their motive? So for those who chose Selenite, the person they're thinking of, or that pulled them towards this reading, the reason they chose that Selenite was to find out what their motive is. What is their motive? Whoever they're thinking about, what is their motive? 2, 3. Let's do the tarot cards. What is their motive? These cards to... no, I don't want the bottom card. Alright, so your last piece here is social aspirations. They think you're a good fit. Which, if you ask me, is not a bad thing. You probably can't read that. I know my chicken scratch, but that's what that is. Social aspirations, they think you're a good fit. So, no matter what way you're coming at that, I don't feel like that's bad. I feel like this is somebody thinking that you're a good person. They like who you are. Alright, so it's like, it's almost like they're looking at you like you're a stand-up person. You have really good qualities. It's kind of like, for whatever reason, could be your financial standing, could be your moral standing, could be other things you're connected to. They're like, you're a good person. You make me look better. I think I can add to your life. It's not like totally you just make me look better. There is more there that they want you around. They do like you. But this is kind of like what's really pulling them. Like, if there are 5 people in a room, you make them look better, you're ahead of the game. So whatever this is, this doesn't have to be romantic, by the way. I know a lot of you are probably seeing the soulmate card. It doesn't mean that like this is romantic. So if you're looking at this like, well, this is about my boss, and I'm hoping that's not true. Like, they're not romantically into you. I'm not like getting a romantic vibe, just to be fair. I'm getting like they think you're a good fit, you're a good person to have around. Now I'm noticing where it's starting off with somebody else. I feel like somebody else rejected them. There was somebody else they also wanted for this situation. They may not have approached this person. For most of them, I think they did, and they were rejected. Literally, I feel like that's literal. Somebody flat out said to them, this isn't going to make it for me. I'm not into this. I don't want to be a part of this. So no matter what it is, I feel like that is there. Let me just hold on one moment. So with that being said, I wouldn't say you were second choice. I would just say that there was competition. Even though I don't see you as second choice, it's just maybe they thought they'd have a better chance with someone else first accepting the situation, and that didn't happen. So it could go left and right. I wouldn't let this bother you. I wouldn't let this like make you feel. Don't feel insulted about this, because I just don't let this ruin the situation. Because I'm kind of feeling like this is probably a good thing for you. Whoever you are, whatever reason you came to this, you're trying to figure out like why are they coming towards me. They thought somebody else would go with it a lot easier. They said no. All right, so now they're on to you. They're also very nervous. I'm getting the Ace of Swords with the Eight of Swords reversed. Like they're trying to like not make this weird. They're trying to like I'm getting this Ace of Swords reversed is very funny to me because it's almost like they're not overly hopeful because they already got shot down once. But they thought, well, let me at least put it out there because I've already got shot down once. So they don't want to get stuck in this, feeling like they're stuck, like nobody wants to go forward with this, like they're going to have a hard time feeling this position or this situation or getting somebody to come together with them. So they might be coming forward in a very awkward way is what I'm getting with the Ace of Swords. But they actually do have a lot of respect for you. I'm just getting it might come forward in a really weird, really odd way. They do believe in you, but I just feel like when it comes forward to you, and this might be why you're actually coming to this, you're like, I don't understand. Like, they don't feel, like, you don't feel a lot of confidence. Like, are you just asking because you're just looking for practice and asking somebody? Or, like, when they come forward and give you this offer, like, I feel like there's if you haven't got an offer from this person, you will, is what I'm getting. That might be another reason you're coming to this. But you're kind of like, do you really want to give me this offer? Because it seems strange. I feel like they're just trying to get past it. They're just trying to put it out there and see what happens. They're a little bit nervous. I feel like the ego's a little hurt here. Kind of like, well, I want to ask, but I'm a little nervous and I don't want to get over-invested. So just in case the door gets, shut in my face again, I want to be okay with it. I just want to kind of roll with it. I don't think this is bad, especially with the Selenite. I feel like once you see what it's really about and you just give it a chance, this will balance out and you will have, this will be worth your time in the long run. I just feel like this person doesn't seem to understand your true value yet, but I do feel like this will go in a good direction later. I just don't let this, I feel like this could trip up a lot of people, kind of like, well, if I'm not first choice, I don't want to be any choice. But in this situation, I don't feel that bad about it. I feel like they don't understand you or know you well. They're just kind of going with gut instinct. I feel like down the road, this is going to be worth it. I feel like this will balance out. Literally, that's the balance card. The thing is, just don't let it get under your skin if you realize they asked somebody else to do whatever it was first. If, you got the position at work, but you're realizing so and so and so, and this other person both rejected it before you got it, so what? Don't let it hold you back, because you're going to prove that you were the right one either way. You know what I mean? I wouldn't worry about it. I just don't let that hold you back. They do think, you're a good fit, though. I mean, that's good. I think we're kind of good with this one. True to form, my picker reads don't usually last a crazy amount of time. Hopefully. I try to get to the point. I try not to just keep saying the same thing over and over. I try. I know some of you who watch me a lot are like, well, once in a while, you kind of just say it 50,000 times. Alright, so that's what we have for the Selenite. What do we have next? Green Calcite. Let's see if I can get that in frame. Alright, so for those people who chose the green Calcite, for whoever they're thinking of, what is that person's motive? What is that person's motive? Why are they pulling them closer? Why is this happening? What is going on? Answer those questions they have so they can get a better idea about what this person is really coming towards them for. Like, what is it this person wants from them? What is their motive for whatever they're seeing? And I don't know if you saw these, but these two fell right out. I'm just going to leave them there for right now. I apologize for the whining dog. It's a nice day outside. He doesn't want to stay in. But I can't leave him out there by himself, so. And he groans. See how easy it is? What do we have for those people who chose the green Calcite? I feel like that's all we want. Okay. We gotta flip this last one. What do we have here? Not telling, they wouldn't admit to it anyway. Well, that's fun. So it's like whatever their motive really is, the deep down part is like this is nothing they ever want to come to light. They would never admit it in a million years. There's a piece like I'm getting there's confusion around this, and they seem to like you, but it's almost like I feel like maybe they don't even realize why they're asking whatever they're asking for you. Like maybe they don't even know how they feel about you. This could be somebody. I'm getting like a weird dietary thing. Almost like maybe they're not eating something that really doesn't do well with them. Like it seems like a brain fog feel. It's weird. That's a weird thing. Is there anything like confusion? Like well, literally, that's brain fog, is it not? Like maybe they don't even know how they feel about you. Maybe they don't even know their motive. You know those people who just go through life on autopilot and things just happen and they just kind of take it as it comes, which works for some and doesn't work for others. They might not even be connected with their actual motivation. Like they might not have really thought it out and they're just kind of reacting as things come towards them. It may look thought out to you, but maybe they're just kind of like, I need to fill a slot, so here you go. This is weird, especially the confusion, but the Ten of Cups is telling me they do actually like you. That might be another thing with the motivation here. It's kind of like, well, you're easy to get along with, or, well, you are very responsible and you do what you need to do, or could be, and you'll know if this is true or not, you're very chaotic and they enjoy that, and that could take some of the pressure off of them, so it's just a split-second thing. Some people will choose for that reason. If you're a chaotic person and you know if it's true or not, so I don't think that should offend anybody. Like, if you're chaotic, you know you're chaotic. They might actually be choosing you because they're like, that's a good distraction that I don't have to deal with. You know, it'll take the heat off of me for a while. They definitely see something positive in you. There's some attribute about you that they feel is a good thing for them, that you'll be more of an ally to them. There could be a romantic attraction here, which I was trying to walk away from, but I'm feeling with the not telling, there could be a lot of different reasons why they don't think they should let you know that. I'm actually getting one of you, at least, well, I'm going to think it's more than one, to be fair. You're married to this person, and they don't want you to know how much they really do find you attractive. I think that's really odd. I have seen people in relationships where that's like, I'm like, why? I don't get it. I literally don't understand why you wouldn't want the person you're romantically connected to know how much you find them attractive. It's almost like a power game. It's a power game. I'm betting it's a power game. Because if you know how much they're attracted to you, they feel like that gives you a one-up. So they're not letting that know. They're not letting that be known. It's like seems like this is a weird thing. Like they don't know where they stand for some reason. This is a weird energy. I got to be honest with you. This energy is just kind of like maybe they don't even know where they stand. These are hidden aspects going on around them, and there's 3 of these. Ooh. Miracle. Completion. I don't really like these cards for some reason. Princess of Swords, Queen of Swords. Can you see these? Let me move this down, because I don't think y'all can see these. I don't like these cards. And I feel like a lot of you who know tarot especially be like, well, there's nothing wrong with those cards. True. It's the energy I'm getting off of this. I feel secrets. Especially with the swords energy. When I got that miracle, I'm like, I feel like they are trying to... I feel like they got their butt in a snare. And they're just lucky. The miracles are getting themselves out of it. Someone is saying, buzz off. I'm feeling somebody saying, just get away from me. This might not be directly connected to you, and this might be, but this is affecting your situation, like one of the reasons they don't know where they stand with you. Something else, there's a big problem around them. It may have literally nothing to do with you, depending on the situation, but this is what's causing this confusion. This is another situation that may have literally nothing to do with you, but it's affecting you, and you're just like, what's up with this cuckoo nut? They're scattered because somebody's letting them off the hook, and it's making them nervous. Like, oh, does that mean I owe this person later? This energy, I don't like this energy. I know these are good cards, and I'll give you that, but I don't like this. I feel like this is what's throwing this person off. Like, they did something, or they're a part of something that maybe they don't want to be. They're getting out of it. They're getting kind of a free pass, kind of. but they have to watch their P's and Q's, if you know what I mean. They have to watch what they say and what they do if they really want to get out of this. I'm also getting with the isolation over here, they just seem to go dormant. Like when they're, like this seems to be happening, they're getting away from some situation. I'm feeling like they're taking a break from everything, almost like it was too much for them, and now they just want to avoid people altogether. Or at least a situation. There's a certain situation or people altogether. One of the two. Either people or a certain situation they're going to want to avoid altogether. This person, I don't know what's going on with them. I can't say if they're good, bad, or indifferent. It's a general read. But their life is like cuckoo. It's Cuckooville is what I'm getting. I feel like you have no idea about this though. That's why it all came face down is what I'm getting. This is not something you're going to see. It's just you're going to notice they're acting weird. That might be why you actually chose this, kind of like you know this person, especially if this is somebody you're already in a relationship with, or if this is somebody you've worked with and it's a work relationship and you've worked with them for a while and they're just seeming to act a little odd lately, and you're like, what's the deal with that one? There's something else going on here. And they're getting a free pass. They're knowing they're lucky. They know they're lucky to have gotten that free pass. It's really throwing them off, though. Whatever they're doing with you, they're just trying to, like... I feel like it's just making decisions off the seat of their pants, or flying by the seat of their pants, however you want to put that. They're not really overthinking, like, what's going on with you and them. They're not overly thinking about you, is what I'm getting. I feel like this is pulling a lot of their attention, and they might just go dormant. So if this is a romantic situation for some of you and you're trying to date this person and you're like, I don't understand what they're doing, I think they like me, they pull away, then they come close, then they pull away, something else going on around them, they're going to probably ghost you after a while. If it's a work situation though, I feel like they're choosing you or they're asking you to do something because it seems to take some pressure off of them. They're making decisions off the seat of their, by flying by the seat of their pants. But I also feel like they're also going to kind of ghost you after a while. Like they're just going to kind of go dormant. The situation may go flaccid after a while. So that's the answer. Okay. I think that's good. That's an interesting one. I don't know what else I want from it. It's almost like they're kind of giving you the answer, but I feel like they're also giving you like heads up, like, let sleeping dogs lie. Let's let this person do what they need to do, and just you take care of yourself and just don't get overly caught up in their whatever they're doing. That's what I'm kind of getting with that. All right, the next one. Dun, 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 dun. Hematite. Okay, so let's move you down here. Got a lot of hematite there. Well, I guess not that much, but anyway, the people who are choosing hematite, what's the motive for the people they're asking about? What is their motive? The motive for the people they're asking about, hematite's a grounding stone, so I'm almost wondering if you're looking to like stabilize so you can understand how to treat this person going forward and whether you should or shouldn't invest. We'll see. It's just like the hematite feel there. So we got this. That's coming a little after that. This, and that. We got a lot of those. Let's do the tarot cards. What do we have? I apologize, you can't see me shuffle them on camera. Not really. What do we have for the people who chose hematite? What is the motive of the person or group? Could be a group for some reason. We put those all face up. That's interesting. At first blush doesn't seem too bad. Pure want, but they're okay with it. Pure want. Is that more of a selfish thing? Pure want. This kind of gives me that kid in a candy store feel, kind of like, even if you don't have kids, you've seen other kids do this where, they want what they want and they'll just start saying whatever they need to say. Like, oh no, we can save the candy till later. I won't eat it. I won't ask for it till after dinner. No, Grandma's gonna want some, so just in case, we should get extra candy. That way we can share it. Like they want, and they're just trying to find any avenue to get what they want. That's kind of what I'm feeling to start this off with. Is that good or bad? Well, I guess you're gonna have to decide for yourself as we keep coming forward. I'm gonna pull this. I know these two are closer. Like these are closer together for some reason. You got the Ace of Pentacles coming in. And you got 2 face-down cards. I don't know if they're necessary, but let's find out. Necessarily, I don't know if they need to be face-down, let's put it that way. Recovery, growth, Ace of Pentacles. I'm getting like, you seem to be a way for them to stand back up and be okay again. If it's a work situation, they feel like you can help them get back up to speed. This may, especially if it's a work situation, I'm getting with this. Kind of like there's certain things that they're falling behind on, or maybe they don't understand, and they think that you do. Whether you're the sharpest tack in the box or the brightest crayon in the box, whatever you want to call it, or not, doesn't matter. There's something they think you understand that they don't. So you don't have to be like a brainiac, but you probably know what you're doing in some respect, that they really like, oh, you got that down. So don't get nervous, because I feel like there's people who are going to see this and go like, well, I don't pretend to know everything. I know what I know, and that's good enough. And that's cool, but they have seen you do some things, and they have a lot of confidence in you, and they're feeling like you can help them get back on point. For those of you in this more of a, I don't want to say romantic, I want to say just like a social atmosphere. Like, this is somebody who's been on shaky ground. This might be a recovering fill in the blank. Anything you want, I don't know, because it is a general read, but they're definitely recovering from something. They feel like, for example, if they're a recovering alcoholic, you don't look like you usually party, so they're like, oh, I can hang out with this person. That shouldn't be an issue, because they don't do that anyway, so I shouldn't have to worry about that so much. Or whatever it is, maybe it's something else. Maybe this is a food thing, and they feel like you live a healthy lifestyle, that you don't get caught up in this, like, food that causes them problems, whether it be like cheese or whatever. Maybe that's not something you typically gravitate towards. It could be as simple, literally as simple as that, like, oh, this person usually eats healthy. This will be an easier person for me to be around. I won't have the temptations as much. I don't feel like this last one's going to fit for many of you, but it could be a social thing in the sense of like, I tend to gravitate towards troublemakers. It sucks me right in, and they don't think you are. They don't think you get into that. You're not interested. And they're like, well, I go towards this person. They don't really go in those circles. They don't really want to talk about that type of thing. So this is a good person to go towards, and I don't have to worry about those type of situations becoming an issue. So I feel like when I'm feeling this, I know this pure want, but they do want a better situation. They're just thinking you're a good influence for that situation. They want things to improve. They want what they want. They just think you're a very good connection to that, and they want things to improve for them, and they're thinking you're a support for that improvement. I don't think it's negative, but it's feel like when I'm getting the hematite here is like they're trying to get their ducks in a row. They're trying to get their life together. They think you're a positive influence or positive support to that, or at least they won't have to fight. If by hanging out with you, it won't make it any worse. Is that perfection? Yeah. This is not surprising to me, because this comes in very close. Whatever the behavior is, they're very, very drawn for it. And this is where this same quote comes in a little bit differently. Whatever the bad behavior is, they're going to have the need to do it. Drinking, bad eating habits, what do you call it? What do you call it when you talk about people? Oh, for the love of Pete. Rumors, rumor mill, whatever you call it. Like, chit-chat that's not really productive, whatever. They're going to have the need to do that and fall back into that pattern. I don't feel like you match that. I feel like they chose you because you don't. So it's kind of like they can't really do that with you, but they want to. They're trying to uphold this certain standard, but I feel like they're being a little, I want to say stupid. I want to literally say the word stupid. I feel like the way they're handling it is not the best. It's kind of like, they don't want to talk about people at work at all. But like talking about people at work in a positive way, like, oh, so-and-so, they were at the park the other day and I saw them, helping people out, or, I saw them with their kids. They have a beautiful family. They seem to get along very well. That's great. You know what I mean? Oh, look how good they do here. Or, oh, yeah, I was seeing so-and-so the other day out at the market and they're trying this other mushroom dinner. I think that's great. Like, I feel like they're getting to the point where they're like, I can never talk about this at all. I can't talk about those people. I can't acknowledge that they exist. And it's like you can just talk about them in a positive way and don't start rumors or perpetuate rumors, and you'll be fine. This seems like it's overdone, and I almost feel like it's the same thing. Like if you eat healthy, like once in a while, for example, you have cheese, it doesn't make it unhealthy. You know, cheese itself is not unhealthy. Maybe how much you eat of it and when you eat it, and if you fry it up first, maybe, you know, all right, you know, everything in moderation though. Maybe once in a while you have cheese and they're like, oh no, 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 we can never have cheese. No, and they get a little bit over the top. That's the perfection. I just feel like this person might drive you a little bit bonkers is what I'm getting. Because the reason they're coming towards you is because you don't go towards these subjects in a negative way, but maybe you do dance around them, or you listen to certain things once in a while, or, you know, I like to stay informed, or once in a while I have a cheeseburger, you know, I'm human, I like to have what I have in moderation, there's no problem with that. Whatever it is. Maybe you, for example, if they're a recovering alcoholic, maybe they don't realize that once in a while you do like maybe some wine or whatever it is. But they're not telling you this, is what I'm also getting. So they might get a little weird, is what I'm getting, and this might be why you're coming to this right here, is what I'm getting. Kind of like, what's up with this weirdo? Like, what's going on? Why are they acting like this? Because they're trying to distance themselves from a behavior that's bad for them, that maybe you have more under control, is what I'm getting. What's coming over here? Okay, the hematite is telling me they're trying to come ground it. You might be trying to ground it, figure out where you stand with this person. I feel like this person is just, this attitude right here, this is going to keep going. Like, I feel like this is just how this person's going to be for a good while, whatever it is. If you can just be okay with it, I feel like that's a lot, but you got creation with complacency, and then you got the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there's going to be little, like, they're constantly going to try to make it like this over-perfected situation, you know what I mean? They're going to constantly, for example, if it was the rumor mill they're trying to stay away from, they don't ever want to talk about it at all. But, for example, they'll want to, like, instead of staying here for lunch, let's go out somewhere, or let's order out for lunch and just stay at our desks so we don't get caught up in that rumor mill during break or during lunch. Or, for example, like, if it's health food, like if they want to do this healthy eating thing, they're going to be like, oh, I made this salad, or I made this, you know, turkey burger with, you know, some type of bread that's good for you, whatever, whole wheat bread, whatever. You know what I mean? They're going to constantly be finding new ways to keep the restriction in place. I feel like you can probably be okay with whatever it is, just realizing, all right, when I'm around them, I'll just live life that way, that's fine. And when they're not around, I'll do what I want to do, and that'll be fine. I feel like this person isn't, I don't really feel like they're bad, even though the pure want coming in is just kind of like, it's a little overdone. They're trying to submit, like, the hematite, the thing is with hematite, I really feel like if you have too much of it, or if you connect with it too much, it can become very sedentary and very limiting, I want to say. And they might be kind of like overdoing it, because like I really do believe if you use it too much and you're constantly, like, for example, if you're walking around with it in your pocket and you got too much of it, you might become very, you know, stubborn or obstinate. I think obstinate's the word I want. It just feels like it's a little overdone to me. It really does. So I think the answer is here. I don't know. I don't know if you really want to put up with it. I also get that. I feel like for a lot of you, if you see it for what it is, you'll be fine. I feel like you're fine. If you choose that, like, I don't want to be a part of that, that's cool too. But I feel like for the majority of you, you're kind of like, oh, well, if that's what it is, that's fine. Whatever, it's cool. And that's what we got for that one. Okay. Let's go on to the next one and see what we got there. Whoops. It's falling off the table here. One moment. I think. Listen, might just have to let that fall on the table, or off the table. What do we have next? What do we have next? We have the Amethyst. Amethyst. I'm going to actually shuffle the tarot cards first this time. So for the people who chose Amethyst, what is the motive of the person they're thinking about? The reason they came to this, the reason they chose Amethyst was to find out that person's motive. What is really going on there? What is... Okay, I'm already feeling like we're there. think we're done with those. Let's do the oracle cards. So for the people who chose Amethyst, what is the motive? What is the motive? 1, 2, 3. All right, and we have this coming in. What is your thing? Needing help, reaching out. So they're needing help and they're reaching out. That's what's here. Got the King of Swords, the Justice card, the Six of Wands. That's success. That's good. The Hierophant, renewal. Needing help, reaching out. Like, it's not just the fact that anybody will do. They're reaching out to somebody I honestly feel that will help them. This is their motive. Like, they might not have come forward with it yet. For those of you who are getting, like, wondering, like, this person keeps seeming to want something, and you're just like, what do they want? Like, what is it they want from me? They literally might want a ride to work, for some of you. Which, hey, if that's what it is, cool beans. For others of you, I like, there's something they need help with, and they just feel like you'll help them. I just don't think it's that complicated. Justice is kind of like, Justice also makes me feel, especially Justice, Hierophant, Six of Wands, renewal. This is not something they just feel like they're going to take and not give back. This is something where they feel like you can help them with something and that they'll be able to give you value as well, especially with the King of Swords. They believe in their own value, so they want something from you, it's true. They need help, they're reaching out, but they also feel like they can easily help you with something else later. They feel like they can pay this back, whatever it is. I don't think they're keeping a tally, but it's basically like they have things to offer you as well. Like, they can do something for you, they can make it worthwhile. The renewal is kind of like, this is almost like a renewal in faith. Like, almost like that, life is worth living. It's kind of a weird way to put that. Almost like giving people a chance again, and they think you're a good person, so they want to do that. Justice is coming in. I don't think this is all that complicated. I don't feel like I should make it all that complicated. Like, literally, they need some help on some stuff. They just haven't come forward yet. But with the Hierophant, like, they're fully expecting to be able to return the favor when necessary, and they're wanting to. Like, to them, that's how you make a friendship or connection, or that's how you value somebody. They help you. When you can help them, you help them. It feels very balanced to me. There's a lot of balancing feelings, especially Justice and Hierophant. It feels very balanced. I don't feel bad about it. I just feel like they might be coming towards you, like, instead of just right out the box saying, this is what I want, they're kind of like feeling you out first and seeing if you'd be open to it, and then they're going to ask you for something a little bit down the road, and they're completely open to helping you back. I got passion and perseverance here. This person is good for you. I really feel like, even though they're needing help and they're reaching out, I feel like they're very good for you. This is something that can really pay off down the road. I do feel like this person, it's the King of Swords. That person has a lot of passion, and you might be shocked at how, like, this is reminding me of somebody from my past, that they're a great person. They really are. But when they get upset about something, it was like, it wasn't a you didn't wonder. If they were upset, you knew it, and so did everybody else around you. If they had something to say, they would not only tell you, but everybody around you would know exactly how they felt too. And I feel like that might be the thing with this. I feel like that's okay. This person, like, they usually don't hold back, is what I'm also getting, but they're also very smart, and they know when to say things, and, like, when they have an opinion, and it can be very vocal, I feel like it's because they want people to know that opinion. It may be a little bit embarrassing for you, depending on who you are, when they do that, but when they're making it known how they feel, they don't want any question. They like, this is where I stand with this, and that's how it is. Which also may make you wonder, because maybe you already know this person, and you're like, well, that's their usual energy. I feel like they're kind of looking at me and they want to say something and they're not, and it's making me nervous, because I know usually they come right out with it. When they want to know something or they want to say something, it usually comes right out, and they're not doing that, and you're kind of feeling like they want to say something. They're just trying to feel it out and seeing, like, if this is a good idea or not, and they're just trying to make sure that this is smart. I feel like they also might, for those of you that's hitting with, they might also realize that you don't really like that blunt feel sometimes, and like if they want you to help them, that they have to try to do it more on your terms per se. Not like you're telling them they have to do that, but they're feeling like that's the best way to do it. The renewal makes me feel like this might be somebody who's kind of gotten under your skin, or maybe you've had a little bit of a negative connection with in the past. Not all that bad, but maybe things weren't the best in the past due to that same type of behavior. And that might be why they're kind of holding back, like, I want to ask this person for something, but, I know they've been unimpressed with my behavior before. They're not unimpressed with their behavior, but they know that you might have been. So they're kind of walking forward slowly just to make sure, hey, is this a good idea? Are they going to be okay with me asking for this? I think this is good. I think this is a good situation. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to let that one go. I think that went well. We'll see in the comments, of course. So let me take out this one. That's the Amethyst. I don't know where I get some of these inflections. It just happens. The last one we're going to do, the Lapis Lazuli. I don't know what's going on with my inflection, but there you go. So for the people who chose Lapis Lazuli, I don't know what that's about. I want to say it like Count Dracula or like the Count from Sesame Street. Lazuli. I don't know what that's about, but maybe it's not what's being said as so much as how it's being said. Maybe that's the message with that. We'll find out in a minute. So for the people who chose this, what's the okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth. All right, let's do your oracle cards. What do you got for some oracle cards? I'm already feeling like at some point this situation needs to be like somebody needs to get a hold of their emotions. I'm already feeling that. It's really pulling at me. Ooh, that's something. This is something. Instinct is neither good nor bad in my opinion. It depends what's going on around you. Trying to make a good move, unsure of what they are doing. So they're trying to do the right thing. They're just not sure what they're doing. That instinct, that really fits for me. You got the moon. The moon, that's a mystery, right? Trying to do a good thing, but not really sure what they're doing. They're going on instinct. They got the Empress here, which they're trying to lead the way. It's kind of like trying to lead the way through the dark, and you really have no idea where even you're going or what you're looking for, but feeling like, might as well be the one who's leading. Nobody else knows what they're doing anyway. A decision is coming forward. Is that the thing? Do you not realize that they don't know what they're doing? I've had work situations like this, where you find out after the fact why things were so screwed up is because the person in charge had no idea like how to put a situation together, or how to use this situation, or how to use that application, or how this worked or how that worked, and you find out later and you're just like, well, that makes complete sense why that was all messed up. This, I feel like, is exactly what's happening here. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. And I can say that looking back at a situation I was a part of, like now I can laugh at it. At the time, I was not anywhere near amused, and not anywhere near it. And I'm getting like, maybe that's what you need to know. This person doesn't know what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. They're trying to do the best. They feel like they need to be the one in control, and they're making decisions based on instinct. Like, well, this sounds good. I'll just have to roll with it. That's what I'm feeling with this. It's very simple. And I'm getting like, especially when I was doing that, Dracula feel with the Lapis Lazuli, I almost feel like they're putting on a little bit of a show. They're trying to win people over. They're trying to distract from certain obvious points where they might not have any clue, and it might be painfully obvious to some people. But they're making it, oh, I'm just kidding, don't worry about it. Like they're trying to make up for certain things. I'm getting like that's what's going on. What's their motive? They don't know what they're doing. That's their motive. And they're just flying by the seat of their pants, and not the best way. That's what I'm feeling. So if we come over here, sooner or later this will sort itself out. Like if I went looking back on the situation I'm thinking of, if you realize this person not only doesn't really know what they're doing, I literally feel like they don't. There's something here that they don't understand. They're just going by the seat of their pants, but they're also insisting they have to be in control. And I also feel like if that moon was reversed and they knew what was happening, they would be the one who'd make good decisions. I feel like they could. But I feel like if you can see this from the outside, like, okay, they don't really know what they're doing, but they're insisting on being in control. I need to do my best to understand what's going on here, or at least prepare myself to pick up some pieces later. Because I feel like looking back at the same situation that I'm connecting with here, if I'd realized what was really happening, I wouldn't have put a lot of effort into certain things that just turned out to be pointless anyway. I wouldn't have worried about this as much, or I wouldn't have worried about certain things getting done that were really stressing me. For the job thing I'm thinking of, they wanted this to be done, and this popped out of nowhere, and then they wanted this new process to happen, and they wanted that new process to happen, and we were all going crazy trying to make all these things happen. And when all was said and done, they just let it all go and just walked away from it. There was a lot of work that just was a lot of wasted money and time, in my opinion, and it was stressful. But if I realized that at the time, I might have paced myself a little more, kind of like, all right, I'll do it. We'll make it happen, but we're just 1 foot at a time. I'm not gonna drive myself crazy over it, and that might be the point here. That might very well be the point, and why this reading might be very pertinent to you, because at some point there's going to be kind of like this Five of Wands. Actually, I feel ironically good about that. And if you know the Five of Wands, that's conflict, argument, sometimes fights. But I feel like things are going to kind of all converge and cause like this big moment where the truth comes forward in one fashion or another. For example, me looking back at that work situation, like a lot of work and effort was put into processes and situations that just weren't going to fit, and they just kind of ditched it all. So like the ditching of what doesn't work might happen, throwing it away, throwing away what doesn't work. And I feel like everybody will be happier after this moment happens. Like things are going to kind of fall apart a little bit because somebody's making decisions not knowing what they're doing. At some point that's going to kind of implode, and things are going to have to be realigned and put together correctly. I'm getting that's why the Five of Wands is such a welcome situation, kind of like enough of this ridiculousness. Somebody needs to come in who knows what they're doing. Somebody with the moon upside down, somebody who knows what they're doing needs to come in and say, this is right, that is wrong, this can stay, that needs to go. This is partly okay, we need to fix it this way if we're going to keep doing it this way. It's going to be an uncomfortable moment, but it's kind of like finally, no more wasted effort, no more just kind of wondering, why are we doing this, what is going on? Once that is solved, I feel like things will go a lot better. And I think that's it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.